Hey guys, it's Ro. I got so many requests to make some DIY apple treats, so that is exactly what we're gonna be doing today. The recipes that we're making today are easy mode, and they'll use 3 different kinds of delicious apples. You got your Honeycrisp, you got your Gala, and you got your Fuji. Some of you may not know this, but I am originally from Washington, and Washington is known for its apples. We got tons of orchards. I even had an apple tree in my backyard growing up. The first treat that we're gonna be making are individual apple crisps, which are very similar to a crumble. They are so good and perfect for summer. The things you'll need to make these apple crisps will be 4 large Gala apples, 1 cup of packed light brown sugar, 1 cup of old-fashioned oats, half a cup of unsalted cold butter, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and an additional 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We're gonna be using these measurements at different times. 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. First thing to make an apple crisp, using a peeler, peel all of your apples and chop them up. Just be careful, don't get your fingers. Once your apples are peeled, cut them into tiny cubes, cut on the side of the core, turn the core towards you and cut around it. Remove the core, then cut the apple pieces into strips, then cubes. Once you have your apples chopped, add the first measurement, 1/4 cup of flour to your chopped apples. Now, in a medium bowl, mix together your dry ingredients. Old-fashioned oats, flour, brown sugar, salt, salty, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Give it a light mix. I'm using a spatula. Once mixed together, add your butter. Now, using an electric hand mixer, mix in your butter until the mixture is crumbly. Usually takes a minute or 2. All of our ingredients are ready. Now it's time to assemble our apple crisp. In front of me, I have little bowls on top of a baking sheet. I always bake these on a baking sheet because if anything oozes out, won't get your oven messy. The bowls that I'm using are shaped like little apples. So cute. I found these at Crate & Barrel. I'll put a link down below if they're still available. Scoop in your fresh apples, fill it to the top of the bowl. I'm overfilling the bowl because while they bake, they will sink down a little bit into the dish. Every single one I'm doing is falling out of here. Then cover the top with our crumble mixture. Oh, this is so great. Our apple crisps are assembled and ready to bake. Heat your oven to 375 and bake for 30 minutes. Did-oo! Homemade apple crisps. Still warm, perfect time for a bite. The next treat we're making are these chocolate caramel apple slice pops. The things you'll need to make these chocolate caramel apple slice pops will be 3 large Honeycrisp apples. Use the tallest ones you can find to get the longest strips. 1 cup of white candy melts. 1½ cups of dark coating chocolate. 12 caramels unwrapped. 2 tablespoons of water. 1 teaspoon of citric acid, and some popsicle sticks. First step to making these apple pops is cutting some large apple slices. Cut the very edge of the apple off. Second cut, you want to stay outside the core, right up to it. Then cut this piece in half. Ooh, those are gonna be some apple pops. Once you have your apple slices, sprinkle a little citric acid on both sides. Citric acid kind of looks like salt. You can find this at any health food store or vitamin store. This helps prevent browning of the apples and helps pull the liquid out of the apple so that our chocolate will stick. Now take your slices and place them on top of a baking sheet lined with a paper towel. You can probably get 4 apple pops per apple, and with the excess apples, once you have all of your apple slices cut, let them sit out for 10 minutes to dry. And while they're drying, we're gonna get some of our decorations ready. Time to heat up all of these toppings. Over here, I have a heat-safe glass measuring cup. Pour in your caramel candies. Oh, geez. And add 2 tablespoons of water. Then take it over to the microwave and heat until it's smooth. Microwave and heat for about a minute. I'm sweating. Oh, that was nice. That's nice. And then stir. You want a smooth, creamy texture. This smells so good. I just want to put this in my coffee. And heat up your chocolate and candy melts. Chocolate's in there right now, and I'm waiting for it. Waiting for it, waiting for the chocolate. To assemble these apple pops, take a popsicle stick and slide them into the bottom of the apple about 2/3 of the way in. Spoon the chocolate over the apple to coat. Do this to both sides. Once your apple pop is covered, give it a little jiggle, allow the excess chocolate to drip off back into the bowl, and then place onto a piece of wax paper to set. Then do this to the rest of your apple pops. Apple pops are dipped. I've given them a few minutes to set. Now, final step, drizzle with a little bit of caramel and white chocolate. It's okay to get a little bit messy because the wax paper is underneath. Get in my face, you yummy little pops. So good, are you kidding me? Why do they even do caramel apples? Those are so hard to eat. They should just sell them like this. And there you have it, chocolate caramel apple slice pops. If you like chocolate dipped fruit or caramel apples, this is the treat for you. I'm gonna have some now. This is delicious. The last treat that we're making are these homemade apple fries. They're just like French fries, only they're made out of apples. The things you'll need to make these apple fries will be 2 large Fuji apples. Again, you'll want the tallest one so you can get the longest fries. Some vegetable oil for frying, 1 cup of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Making apple fries is super easy. I first saw these when I was at a fair and I thought, oh, we've got to make those. First step, peel your apples. Again, I'm using Fuji's. Now we're gonna cut our fries. We're gonna be cutting the apples into large pieces like large steak fries. Cut right on the edge of the core on both sides of the apple. Now cut off the smaller sides. We're not gonna let any piece of apple go to waste. For me, finish cutting up your apples, make as many as you'd like, and then take them over to the stove. Fill a large pan halfway with oil. Turn your temperature to medium-high. Let the oil heat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm using a candy thermometer. Add your apples and fry for 3 minutes. Then remove your apple fries from the oil onto a baking sheet lined with some paper towels. Our apple fries are hot off the stove. I have them on a cookie sheet on top of a paper towel to absorb the extra oil. And here, I've got a large bowl and sugar and cinnamon. Mix your sugar and cinnamon till evenly combined. Yum. This is everything that I love all together. We've got apples, French fries, and churros, This is basically like every dessert together that I love. Now toss in all of your apple fries and mix them around. Heaven must be missing an apple. Now pick up your apple fries and place them on a plate or in a bowl. I've got this cute little, look at it, looks like you're at the fair. I'm using tongs to allow the excess sugar and cinnamon to drip off. Here's the homemade apple fries. You can serve them in a little boat, or I found these little fry boxes online, but you could just stick them in here and share. I gotta do that. I gotta put some in there. I can touch all these ones because I'm gonna eat them. Oh my gosh, look at that. After all that, gotta have one. It's like a baked apple pie. Ta-da! Here are the 3 DIY apple treats that we made today. Individual homemade apple crisps, chocolate caramel apple slice pops, and apple fries. These cute little containers, it's just too much. All of these recipes are delicious and they're really easy to make. I'm gonna be taking pictures and posting the recipes on RosannaPansino.com, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So you can check them out there. And if you guys make these, please take a picture and send it to me. I love seeing your baking creations. It just makes me happy. It makes my day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you're having a good summer. All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.